All right, guys. You guys want to blow up your back? Saw I blow my back up. You want a mass building back workout? Try this. You want bulging lats? You want Tyrannosaurus traps? You guys want lats like Dorian Yates with half the work and half fucking genetics? You want to figure out how to not work hard, get big? This is the shortcut channel.
No, I'm just gonna show something. So there's like, talked about this before. We've talked about everything before because ain't nothing new to fucking talk about. But anyway, there's an overwhelming, there's two things that is like there's a constant thing to fix with everybody you train. There's stiffness or rigidity, like you're too stiff once you engage with weight. It's this lockdown thing. And the second facet of that, like an offshoot of that, which is also number one, is that the body takes over the actual push or the actual pull, and the hands don't do anything other than hold on or keep you still, like maintain the balance of the bar, right? So I made a comment the other day to someone I was training, as a friend of mine who came to train after I haven't seen him in a long time. It was like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Thriller music video. Yeah. You know when they do like the dance where they're like this, and then they like move to the side, and they're like shuffling to the side. I was like, dude, when you work out, you look like you're fucking like Michael Jackson from the Thriller fucking, because it's like you'll push the weight out, right? Like, so I don't even know if this is too low. Yeah, so they'll push the weight out, and it's like, I'll tell them like, okay, like I want my weight back here. So it's like, I tell them, press yourself back into the pad and set your chest up and hold that on your hand, which is like a pretty basic instruction. Like anyone watching can understand this. My weight is back here. I am extending my arms as hard as I can. So all my weight is back in the seat. It's almost like I'm doing a push-up. I'm at the top of a push-up. So, but these people that are these like shoulder pressers or body pressers or like Michael Jackson Thriller hands, they're like, you tell them to take it out and they're like this, I swear to God. And then if you get them a little bit further, so they put it out here and they're like, so they've never done that before, and they've never locked out on their hand. So everything they do is with this like limp grip, like I could be holding the weight here and I could tell them like, I'll take their hand right off and they'll put it back on because their weight's just like in the middle of their body, in their shoulders. So right now my shoulders are holding the weight. I'm tense across my shoulders and my hands are very light. Like, see how I can just let go? Because my shoulders are doing it. So if you notice that you're doing that as a person who's lifting, if you have a stopper like this, think to yourself, I think I'm holding this here and I'm back in the seat. It's like, no, you're not. Because if you were, this thing would just fucking fall back or it would just hold on you, right? Because I'm locking down in my body. So people need to get out of this like Michael Jackson fucking thriller hands or zombie hands and actually understand, like, if you're having problems with this lockout and this extension of my palm and feeling pressure on my palm, like if you moved my hand, if you tried to take my hand off here, you couldn't. Unless you knocked it down or knocked it up, but you couldn't peel it off straight away, right? So if you're having trouble with this, guys, there's no point in us getting to this depth and working from here at that point because you don't have any control anywhere. So let's understand control at the end range, because at least now we know our hands are holding weight. And it's like, let's break to a point where we feel the weight transfer into the hand more and push. So I'm understanding I'm leaning back into the bench, I'm lifting my chest, and I'm pushing out. Instead of like going like that person who has no control, they're coming down and going, you know what I mean? They're trying to push. You can see because the whole body goes, like when I say lift your chest, it's like lift your sternum. When these people here lift their chest, they go, like fucking, you know what I mean? Like Walking Dead fucking, like, so it's even on a pull. You can demonstrate the same idea on a pull. Everything we film is so Laura can get a better angle. So, the same idea with these like fucking Thriller hands. Fucking walking over here with your fucking Thriller hands, like getting onto things, like the fucking. If I'm gonna do the same thing here, Same thing that happens on presses happens on pulls. So if I'm not used to holding this, so right now this is off the stack. I've talked about this 1,000 times. It's off the stack. My weight is counterbalanced on the chest pad, but I'm holding with my hand. If I let go with my hand, I stay right here. Most people that do this claw thing and grab with their upper body, they'll go here and they'll grab this and then they'll be here like this. Like, as you can see, I'm already holding on my back and I have very control. That's why all of them lose their grip, because it's hard as fuck to squeeze this thing and hold it into a position of my shoulders being tense. And then when I go to move and I tell them break your elbow and pull, they go. It's like this rocking of arm that's dead. So this arm's locked in this position. They think it's just the swinging of the body and the arm that has to do something, but it's literally the hand has to break, or the wrist has to manipulate, and the hand and elbow have to break, right? So if you're having the same trouble on presses, you're gonna have it on pulls. So again, if you're having trouble with grip and you're like dying through back workouts unless you have a strap that you wrap on every fucking thing you touch, which is insane, by the way. If you don't have the hand strength to hold this here and not lose your grip, I can even let my grip go and grab it back because it's on my palm. I'm gripping in my hands and I'm able to hold. I can manipulate, right? If you're having trouble with that, then you guys need to just sit here and literally just retract and pull. I literally need to do scapular retractions on any angle that I'm on. It could be above me, could be below me, it could be hanging over shit. I need to be able to understand this. So I need to keep my hand locked and break my elbow and pull. Let my arm rock out, pull. If I can get this down and feel the weight go back here, then I can have this happen. I can rock. If I can't be doing this, or going in here and getting where I'm tight and they go, it's like that's not helping you in any way, guys. Like, it may look impressive if you got 5-6 plates on this thing and you're fucking dry humping this thing and fucking, but everyone just sees any trained eye or any trainer, like myself, I look over, I go, this guy's doing shrugs. He's literally doing a variation of shrugs, but seated. It's a seated shrug. That's all you're working, right? So if you don't wonder why you turn around to the back and you're a laughing stock on stage, because yeah, you got a big upper back. Big upper backs don't make a difference. Everyone's got one. There's never been like a bodybuilder on stage and like really needs more upper back, rhomboids, you know, like mid back, traps. You can bring it up. It's like, no, everyone's got that. Everyone's lacking the other shit. Most of you may not even know what that is. That's a bad sign too. But yeah, so no more Michael Jackson hands fucking picking stuff up and like your hands work, fucking use them. We're gonna splice in a clip of Michael Jackson doing that day. He like skips around like this. How's your motherfucker? God damn it. Atlantis. I don't know, man. I don't know if you guys got the juice anymore, you know? New tech creeping up on you. Panada creeping up on you. Life Fitness right on your doorstep, you know? Atlantis might be an obsolete brand soon.
Watch yourself.
Or maybe they'll use my images without my consent again. There is like a miniature tip you can take from certain things. I wouldn't recommend this for everybody, and I'm not saying it's like a hack that works for everybody, but for people especially who crank their neck on everything, like they're super tense on every movement they do with their neck. That's another like massive problem when it comes to lifting for a lot of people. A lot of you like could reevaluate everything you're doing if you just relax your fucking neck. Like, think to yourself, when I pick this weight up and I'm doing bicep curls, why is my neck so fucking tight? When I'm pressing this weight, why am I holding my head like I'm being strangled to death, right? So especially on like stuff where there's retraction of shoulder, any type of pull, here's a press down, whatever it is. I don't necessarily want to be cranked down like this, and I don't want to be up. I want to just kind of be in this like space where my shoulders are able to move. So the more relaxed I keep my neck, the more my shoulders move, as you see. That's why a lot of people have problems with my shrug style, because they can't relax their neck. They're like, you know what I mean? So it's like understanding here, if you're having trouble with that, and there's nothing wrong with having trouble with that, people just don't get it, right? If my head's loose here and my head's forward and sunken off my body, if I'm someone who has this trouble with this like stiff necks, especially when I start getting hard in reps and I'm going like this, and I'm shrugging up, one, get your shrug traps down behind you, lock into your scapula, let your hands roll up, and also pick a side. So if I stay here and I rock, I can feel my shoulders relax more and I'm not cranking my neck so much. So if it's like, oh, I don't want to be on one side, it's like I can be here too and relax. I can see my elbow move and rock through. But I also have a head position that's able to keep my head mobile to do shit. If this becomes an issue of feeling like I'm here all the time, it's like take a breath and fucking relax. You want to feel things push back and fold. So it's the same thing as if guys who are hitting rear doubles on stage, or they hit front or they hit back doubles. So they pull here and the guys will pull like this and they'll go like this and some will be here, right? So they'll turn to one side because they get more dexterity through their shoulders. They can pull more than if they're here, right? So guys will tip or guys will hit rear doubles and they'll turn to one side here, it'll be like this. And it's a more relaxed position than pushing back here sometimes, right? Not all the time. It's not like it's a rule, but if it's something that's causing you issue and it's causing you to tense up in your neck all the time, the goal isn't to like, as weight gets heavier, the goal is to not tense more. The tension will come because the weight is there and the body will have to adapt to the stress. But it's not like, oh, now that we're lifting heavy, I'm gonna get super fucking tense. It's like, no, your body should have acclimated to heavier weights over time and should still be treating those weights with the same perceived amount of stress or tension needed to move that weight. And the better way to explain that is if I just press 20-pound dumbbells and then I jump to 100-pound dumbbells, there's no way that I could approach those the same way, right? But if I started at 20-pound dumbbells and I've worked my way up over time and acclimated to every increment along the way, eventually the goal is that 100 pounds drop back just like 20s would. 20s would be so light that it would be hard to even get in the position we need to get in because we don't understand it anymore. We've moved past that, right? And that's the goal of progressing through weights. It's like the weight should look the same all the time. So you guys that are like working with 80, 90-pound dumbbells and then you're like, I gotta go up to 140s today, and the fucking kick the 140s up and your buddy's helping you get one up and you're like, and then you're like, it's just for you. It's just for you mentally to feel good, which is cool. Like if that's what you want to do, it is. If that's what working out is to you, that's fine. Everyone has the reasons for doing shit. I do weird shit for no apparent reason too. But like I also don't want to hurt myself. And if you want to develop, just stick to the weight. It's like people said to me when they met me at this meet and greet for Detroit Pro, man, I really like your lifting style. Like I've been like I lift light, blah blah. And I'm like, I never said to lift light. No one ever told you to lift light. That was not the leading message here. It was like lift lighter than you do so that you can learn how to lift better and your weights will progress over time. Don't make it your goal to lift heavy. Make it your goal to like stimulate and stress the muscle as much as possible. And that over time will also be added weight or added resistance. But it's the people I'm talking to is like, stop doing heavy weight for the sake of doing heavy weight because you think heavy weight's gonna make you better. It's not how it works. Like you have to acclimate to things, right? It's like if I haven't sprinted in since I stopped playing football, which was in 2005 I graduated. Okay? If someone told me to sprint right now 100 yards, I would probably blow my Achilles or tear a hamstring or fucking hurt something else really, really bad, right? So I wouldn't do that. I'd start with like maybe walking briskly. And then maybe I start with like some marching A's and like getting my mobility back in my hips. And then I might start with like hopping to be used to on my toes. Like all this progression would lead to me being able to sprint again. You guys are trying to now circumvent all this process and just get right into sprinting. It's crazy. Like it's the average gym goer that's doing that too. I wouldn't say that it's like necessarily bodybuilders unless they're very inexperienced. But it's just your average guy who's like, gotta lift heavy to get big, right? You see them squat 4 plates aside and their fucking knees are shaking and their legs the size of my forearm. It's like, yeah, bro, you moved the weight. That was cool. You're in the wrong sport though. Like, that's powerlifting. You're in the wrong sport. We're in another universe over here.